You know that unspoken golden rule of detective fiction,
No,
right?
Mike?
The detective solves the puzzle, points a dramatic finger, and the police just haul the bad guy away.
Right, it's clean and it's orderly. But today we are taking a deep dive into a series that takes that exact rule, sets it on fire, and throws it right off a roof.
Exactly. We're talking about Ron Kamonohashi, Deranged Detective.
Mm.
It's this massive hit from Akira Amano, who you probably know from Reborn.
Yeah, and the premise, it just grabs you right away. First, we really need to give you an overview of the work itself before we get into the appeal. So you have this detective with a 100% case resolution rate, but a 0% arrest rate.
Which sounds like a statistical error until you actually look at the fine print in the sources.
Right, because the sources call this a story about a flawed genius, but flawed is really putting it lightly. Ron Kamonohashi was the top prodigy at BLUE.
That's the Elite Detective Training Academy, right?
Exactly. He was basically built to be the ultimate savior of the police force, but instead he gets expelled and banned from solving crimes forever.
And this is where my jaw kind of dropped during the research, because the specific reason for that ban isn't corruption or incompetence. It is a literal psychological kill switch.
Right, it's a condition he isn't even consciously aware of. The second Ron solves a case and corners the culprit, he slips into this trance.
And he uses his voice and his sheer presence to pressure the criminal into committing suicide right on the spot.
Yes, it is deduction as a murder weapon. He solves the crime, but the justice system never gets a chance to work because the suspect dies.
So purely from a legal standpoint, that makes the detective a serial killer by proxy, which means he desperately needs a partner who isn't there to help him think, but to literally tackle him.
Enter Todomaru Ishiki, or Toto. He's a homicide detective, but the sources describe him in a way that's honestly almost mean.
Yeah, they say he's frantic and clumsy and, well, a bit dim.
He is, but that is the mechanical necessity of the plot. If Toto were smart, he would get in the way of Ron's deduction.
Right, so instead, Toto acts as the physical restraint before the suspect dies, and then he becomes the puppet. Ron feeds in the solution. Toto takes the credit, and the ban is circumvented.
And that leads perfectly into the second thing we need to cover, which is explaining exactly what makes this series so incredibly interesting.
Because honestly, when you have a setup this wacky with characters like a clumsy neurosurgeon covered in bandages or an instructor named Spitfire, you definitely expect a slapstick comedy.
Yeah, on the surface, it really looks like a gag manga. But critics and mystery writers point out that under the hood, this is genuine Honkaku mystery.
And for anyone not deep into the genre, Hontaku basically means a logic-driven mystery where fair play is key. You as the reader have all the clues to solve the case alongside the detective.
Precisely. Famous mystery writers like Alice Arasugawa and Sako Ozawa have heavily praised the series for this. Despite the goofy character designs, the logic puzzles are razor sharp.
I loved the quote from writer Masaki Tsuji about the thrill of trick-breaking. You aren't just watching cartoons run around, you're engaging in a real puzzle.
It's the core of that Amanoism style the voice actors talk about. You get the cool, edgy visual of Ron, the pathetic but really earnest growth of Toto, and a legitimate mystery all sandwiched together.
And it is clearly resonating with people. We're looking at over 500,000 copies in circulation as of late 2022 and a 14th place ranking in the next Manga Awards.
Plus, there's a 2-season anime produced by Diomedéa and even a stage play.
Oh, and the anime production background notes were great. The voice actors for Ron and Toto Yohei Azakami and Junya Inoki are actually close friends in real life.
Yeah, and Azakami was a huge fan of Amano's work growing up, so that real-world chemistry really bleeds into the performance.
It definitely grounds those absurd moments we talked about in genuine camaraderie, which really helps balance out the darker undertones of the story.
Because we haven't even touched on the elephant in the room regarding Ron's genetics. This isn't just some weird quirk he developed.
Right, his lineage is terrifying. His mother is a descendant of Sherlock Holmes, but his father is from the M family, the Moriarty family.
He carries the blood of the world's greatest detective and the world's greatest criminal. It completely recontextualizes the whole show.
It's not just a case of the weak show. It is a battle for his soul. He has the instinct to solve and the instinct to kill encoded right in his DNA.
Which leaves you with the ultimate puzzle of the series.
Exactly. If Ron has the blood of both the greatest detective and the greatest criminal, does his suicide compulsion mean his nature is already decided? Or can a partnership with someone as pure-hearted as Toto actually rewrite his DNA?
Something for you to mull over until next time. High-stakes murder mysteries meets nature versus nurture.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.